Your father got a call yesterday. This is Delhi Police's cybercrime wing. Your Aadhaar has been used for money laundering. You are under digital arrest. Stay on video call or we'll freeze all your bank accounts. He's educated. He's a careful person. He knows about these scams. But the caller had his exact Aadhaar number. He also had his address, his bank details, everything. He stayed on that call for 6 hours. He transferred 18 lakh rupees. And this is not an isolated incident. In 2024, Indians lost 22,845 crores to cyber crimes. That's 60 crores every single day. So what's actually going on? Why are Indians falling for some of these huge cyber crimes? And why can no one stop it? If you have all these questions, you're in the right place because that's exactly what we're going to break down in this episode of FinShots TV. Hi, I'm Akanksha, and I wanted to tell you that FinShots TV is now a part of 0-01 network, and together we plan on bringing you stories that impact your day-to-day lives, sometimes without you realizing it. So do consider liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to our channel. Alright, let's start with how bad this situation actually is. Like I mentioned earlier, Indians lost over 22,000 crores to cybercrime last year. That's 60 crores every single day. And digital arrest scams alone cost around 2,000 crores in 2024. That's up more than 20 times from 2022, where the number lost was just 91 crores. And these scams are targeting everyone, irrespective of your education or financial background. Just look at the news. A doctor in Gujarat was scammed out of 19 crores and kept under digital surveillance for 3 months. An 86-year-old woman in Mumbai was scammed out of 20 crores. A college professor was scammed out of 2.8 crores. Vardhaman Group's CMD, who was 82 years old, was scammed out of 7 crores. These people are well-read. They're PhDs, doctors, business tycoons, people who should know better. So, how are these scammers actually so good that they're getting these people? Well, it's all because they have your data, all of it. Hey guys, if you like our work at FinShots, do consider checking out Ditto. Ditto is our sister company and they are trying to make insurance simpler for people like you and me. If you're thinking of reviewing your insurance needs, why don't you book a free call with Ditto Insurance's IRDAI certified advisors? The link is in the description. In October 2023, a hacker using the alias PWN0001 posted on a dark web forum 815 million Indian Aadhaar card and passport records, complete database for just $80,000. Cybersecurity firms verified this. These were real numbers and names. They had phone numbers, addresses, Aadhaar numbers, passport details. 750 million Indians' mobile phone numbers were also there. Complete KYC data. And this website was Proxy Earth type. You just type in Indian phone number, you get the person's name, their address, their Aadhaar. It's not even hidden. In 2018, something similar happened. Aadhaar databases were accessed and sold for just 500 rupees. Any Aadhaar number, and you could instantly avail it. In 2025, Airtel's Air Fiber database was also breached. Customer KYCs, Aadhaar, addresses were leaked. But wait, the government will tell you that Aadhaar databases are secure. UIDAI has never been hacked. And they're actually right. UIDAI has actually never been hacked. But here's something you might not realize. Every time you give your Aadhaar for KYC, at a bank account, maybe for a mobile SIM, for a gas connection, or maybe for your kid's school admission, that data is with a third-party vendor. These third-party vendors can be telecom companies, banks, fintech startups, healthcare apps, schools. They store your Aadhaar data in servers, but they have terrible security, or no security actually. That's where the leak happens. Not at UIDAI, but at the ecosystem around it. Okay, so now you know how these scammers have all your details. But who are they actually? And why are they making these calls? Well, it's not actually just a single individual or small gangs. These are actually large-scale industrial operations. They're funded by international crime syndicate. Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, there are countries where there are huge compounds where these operations take place. Think warehouses with thousands and thousands of workers sitting in rows, making calls 12 to 16 hours a day. UN estimates that over 120,000 people are trapped in Myanmar and they are working in these scam compounds all alone. Another 1 lakh people are somewhere trapped in Cambodia doing the same things. News reports show that these people are mostly trafficked. They're lured by fake job ads, something like online marketing job which will pay you $1,500. They fly to Bangkok, they're then taken to Myanmar border and locked in compounds. They're forced to scam people. They're beaten if they don't meet the requirements. Some of these scam compounds also operate within India. You've probably watched the series Jamtara. If you haven't, you should check it out. It gets into the details of how these scams operate. It's because there's a population of these well-educated people who don't have jobs around them. So they do nothing but start scamming people. Now you might wonder, why do these scam compounds exist? Well, because local governments are complicit in these areas. In Myanmar, there are civil war zones where ethnic militia controls these territories. They tax the operators who run these scams to fund their war. In Cambodia, Chinese-backed special economic zones operate with zero oversight. Scam centers here are worth over $40 billion, and it's a whole industry in itself. That's 40% of the combined GDP of Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos. You might be wondering, okay, there are these scamsters, they're based out of different countries, some even within India. But why are they all just targeting Indians? Well, it's because of a mix of reasons. To begin with, we have over-digitization without actually any security measures. India linked Aadhaar to everything: bank, mobile, gas, school, taxes. There's crores of transactions happening every day. There's crores of eKYCs being done every day. The scale is huge. But the vendor ecosystem is not as secure and they are vulnerable to breach. The second factor here is, after 2016, data in India got cheap. Everyone's online now. But a major part of these people have zero cybersecurity literacy. One could wonder that if there are so many cases going on, why is no one taking action against them? The thing is, people are taking action. The police is working on it. But the fact is that the scammers are better funded than the police. The scam industry in a single country is worth more than $40 billion. And they are adept with all latest technology. They're using AI, deepfake voice changing, they have professional scripts to trap people. They also have training manuals and armed compounds. The police is actually underfunded and overworked here. Say for example, something happens with you. You go complain in your local police station, the complaint goes to the state police and then to the cybercrime branch. But then the police says, well, you got a call from an international number. The crime seems to be international. There's no single agency who can actually handle it. The system is in too much of a mess to fix itself. So what can one actually do? Is there any way even out of this? Well, you can start by protecting yourself and people around you. Never answer a call from an unknown international number. Keep in mind that no government agency does video call arrests. Digital arrests don't even exist by law. It's 100% fake if someone says that to you. Don't give OTPs to anyone over call, not even if the caller ID says bank or police. Check your Aadhaar authentication history. Go to UIDAI website. See where your Aadhaar was used. Report unauthorized access. Assume that your data has already been leaked, because it probably has been. And most importantly, tell your parents, your grandparents, and the people around you who are elderly and who might be more vulnerable to fall for these scams. Make them watch this video. They are the primary targets for these scams, and they need to be informed so no one can exploit them. What's your take on this? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to FinShots TV for more.